Hello again, guys. Here we are back with Star Ocean till the end of time, part 2. As I said last night, I was going to come back, but I ended up falling asleep because, I have a newborn here, and he screams and cries a lot. So we've been getting, not that much sleep, so it's in the pass out. Anyway, as you can see, the little percentage down there, that tracks how much portion of the map you've opened. And it's a little weird, because some people would be like, well, why the hell do you have to throw in the map? That seems kind of stupid. Well, like I said yesterday, if you were paying attention, there's these things called bunny statues, or trophies, whatever the fuck. You get them by completing the map by filling it all out. But here's the deal. Every time you fill one out, you get one, and they make you move quicker by, I think, 10% or so like that. I don't think that counts, like, battle-wise, but it's like outside the battle, you move faster. And look at all those trophies I just got, win alone. First battle finished in 10 seconds, first battle finished in 20, first battle finished under 30. And you'll be seeing those whenever, like I said, if you're trying to collect the battle trophies whenever, you'll be seeing those quite a bit. And the map isn't just like this one little area here, like it connects to the whole, battlefield for the specific area that you're in. So like over here it might have like up to 40% or something, and then there's usually some parts of it you can't get to right this time, and you have to fill it out later, but that doesn't mean you can't complete it. What about no damage? I knew there was another one like that. That guy that I just beat, I'm going to be showing you something about his type of enemy in a minute. I just wanted to see if there was a battle trophy for taking no damage, because for the most part, fighting him and the offspring to kind of look like him, they don't really attack too much because they're like whiny little bitches and they beg you to like not hurt them and everything. And usually like fall over their own feet and scream, "Oh, my money! My money! Oh!" And you'll realize that that was a pretty good impression when you hear them later on. These fucking things are annoying, because they're so low on the fucking ground. So, most enemies, you would have got the recoil double hit, but since they're like low on the ground, and usually they time it right, so they usually get the first hit in. And yes, it sucks because I am only getting one EXP at a time. Like I said, the beginning of the game kind of sucks because of that, but it is what it is what I can basically say. There's 3 monsters in this area. There's one over there in that area. Oh, you fucking dick, man! Timed it good again. Oh, you. No, he doesn't want some. Sometimes you do have to like kind of rim yourself up against the side because you might miss a little percentage. Even if it's like 1%, like say that one up to 30. It does help a little bit.
An attack from behind?
My money! My money! Ah! See, here there's a special attack called Spare Me, and if you let him cry and everything, and basically let him beg for his life, he'll give you a treasure chest, and then just kill him afterwards, and you got a copper idol. Those are worth like 200 full right off the bat, which you'll definitely need that money this early on in the game to get some armor and to get some items and shit like that. And trust me, you will be fucking needing them whether you realize it or not, especially because some special attacks eat up your EXP, or I said your EXP, I mean your MP really quickly, and there's also attacks that will decrease your health significantly. It'll like go slowly, but as you use it more, the more it'll be used. You know, the quicker your health goes bye-bye, basically. But it's important to constantly use your skills because your skill levels go up. You need to use them so many times for each level. It starts at level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, I think the highest level is 10, and you do get a PlayStation trophy for getting one of your skills up to level 10. It's a lot of grinding because you have to constantly use specific tactics because you only can equip 4 at a time, and I'll show you where they'll be going. You put one main one up here, one main one down there, and down here you put like stun, increase of HP damage, shit like that, and support down here. Once you learn Symbiology, you can equip Symbiology for, you know, like support and attack. Support you're definitely going to need because support is like, you know, healing, it's fucking, you know, antidote, that kind of shit, and there's different forms of attack symbology. I think the first book you get will teach you thunder, or some shit like that, thunder needles. There's ice needles, there's firebolt, all kinds of different shit you can use. And there are elemental enemies in this game. If you don't know what elemental enemies are, well, that's obviously an enemy that's attackable by a specific element and is damaged by specific elements. Just like, Earth elements are effective against wind elements. Wind elements are affected by earth. Fire is affected by water. You know, water's, you know, damaged by fire, that type of shit. You know, it's just that kind of stuff. I mean, you don't really have to worry about it. You could just use your skills and let, you know, like the mage of your group handle it, basically. But there's not specifically a mage. The main people that I usually always battle with for some reason, just because I like their attack, but you can switch it up, sometimes I will. Your beginning party will be just you and Cliff first, which Cliff will join later on in this world, before you leave. And then, for the next world after that, Nell Zelfer will join you, and Nell specifically is like a dagger's offense attack. Like, she uses like magic and shit like that. She uses like ice needles and stuff like that to begin with. And then there's like samurai swordsman. There's Nell's father, who uses the kind of samurai technique, as well does Albel the Wicked. Cliff is like a knuckle duster type, so he does more like, you know, really offensive, like powerful, power-hitting attacks. Maria, who comes later on, she uses like phasers, which are like basically like guns and shit like that. Roger, if you take him in with you, uses battle axes and like these helmet things for some fucking reason. I don't know how or why you're gonna attack with a helmet, but he uses them. Yeah, see, you can't go any further right here for now. But this will be a main route later on. See, I don't want to go too far in there because up there is the main route for town, and I like to grind a little bit before I get into the second area, because there's going to be a little bit of talking. Besides, I like to have some items, you know, and specifically because, you know, like I said, it's a lot of grinding. You gotta go there. There's enemies over in the other area, which obviously you'll see me face. Come on, you fucking cocksucker. These mushroom things, and while they do regular attacks to attack your HP, they also do attacks that affect your MP, and like I said, having your MP completely go down to 0 is pretty much also a KO as losing all your health. So you don't want that. No MP is the same as no HP. It's KO, your ass is done. Game over.
Please,
There's different forms of this guy. Like this one obviously is the blue one, so he gives you copper. The ones that are green give you silver, and the ones that are red give you gold. Obviously, you know, the levels that there are will increase the value. Copper is only so much. You know, silver obviously going to be significantly more, and gold will obviously be the most. There's also going to be some things that you'll find, like you'll find ingredients and stuff like that, and you're like, well, what the fuck is this for? Well, in this game, you can invent stuff.
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
There we go, we got Blade of Fury. And anyway, when you become an inventor, you can do smithing, you know, synthesizing, compounding, writing, all kinds of different shit you can use. And there will also be other rival inventors. You can actually, you know, have them join up with you, and when you invent with them, some of them are like, you know, more powerful in certain classes, so they can wield you better items and stuff like that, though they still get the credit for being the inventor, but it doesn't matter, because some of the shit you can get through inventing, you do have different grade amounts that you have to put out, but you'll spend significantly less money on certain items if you're able to create it rather than buy it. And you'll get it faster in the game if you know specifically how much money you need to spend, and depending on the inventor. You know, because, and there are certain items in the game that, like, if you had the strategy book, and if you really want to go in to try to invent every item, you could also look it up on the internet since that's available now, because when the game first came out, you couldn't really do shit like that. So, I had the strategy book somewhere. And, there's specific items that each character can make, and only that character.
That was easy.
And that's why you need some of the inventors, because there's certain items that you can only get by having those inventors with you. So obviously you can't get credit for every item created in the game, because only certain inventors can create those items. You know, there's the smithing, there's the cooking, there's the alchemy, all that kind of shit. And, you know, you get points depending on how much, you know, it's basically worth. You know, like, the generic is like 1 to 2 for like the really shitty items. Medium is anywhere from 10 to 40. 50 to up is basically high-ranking items, and those will sell for significantly more. And like I said, you can just get, you know, all kinds of weapons and items and shit that are definitely helpful earlier in the game if you just know what you're doing. But you can invent them until you get to the inventor town, which I forget what the hell it's called, but it's in the second world, and I will be doing that because I always worry about trying to create them, but you need a lot of money to consistently do it. And the only way to get some inventors to join up with you is to give them specific items. This one who's a good cook, he wants alcohol. There's one guy, Gregory, who's a soldier, wants like 13,000 full in order to join up, and he's a really powerful smither, a really good alchemist, or she's not an alchemist, what am I saying, alchemist? She makes like medicine and shit like that, compound, I think. She wants 1,200, and you can get her in the area where Nell takes you, but here's the thing, you can also only sign inventors once it's known that they're starting to invent. So you can figure out where they are, you'll meet some of them, but you can't get them to sign with you until they start inventing. I mean, if you're quick, you can get them right before they invent anything, so you have time to kind of beat them at their own game and get your skill level a little higher, you know, if you're trying to do that. I don't really care about being number one when it comes to inventing. I just try to get some of the items. And see, here we go, we got bonus. And that one gives you more full, which is kind of useless because I was hoping I would get more fucking EXP from that. Well, anyway, with that one, it just felt like this one is giving me double full. You can get more while you're still, like, collecting a bonus. You know, you just have to go into battle and defeat enemies and not get killed. And obviously not get hurt. every time you take damage, it goes down. You don't want that. Because it breaks if you take too much damage. And if it breaks, guess what? You lose all the bonuses and then you're going to build it all the way back up again. You don't want that. You don't. You got to build up a chain in order to get the other, you know, affections of it while still maintaining whatever original bonus you got. You can get all bonuses at the same time if you can you know, just keep going into battle and not taking any damage. So in the beginning, it's, like I said, it's not that hard, but there are some enemies that will attack while you're attacking. You know, they can guard break too. Later on, when you get the Worm Eating Tune, you learn how about doing a, I forget what it's called. It's called like an aura. Basically, if they attack you while like you're attacking and stuff like that, you do a guard aura, and it could do shit like stun them, which gives you a tactical advantage, especially if it's like a boss. Because if it's, you know, like say you're trying to heal and a boss attacks you while you're in the middle of healing, well, until they take damage again by one of your idiots who usually fucking attack them while you're trying to do something, and you know, that could backfire on you if you're not careful. But anyway, if you know what you're doing, you do it really well. Like, I would suggest if you're having a hard time, and like say, like sometimes there are battles where bosses will pay attention to you for some reason, even though you could be completely off the side of the fucking map, like all the way over as far as you can go over, then they'll still come after you. Well, you can switch over between, you know, your people, and you can have one of them taunt the enemy or the boss, and they'll mainly focus on them. Meanwhile, you can support heal. And sometimes it's not a bad thing for you to support heal as well, because you're like, yeah, well, shouldn't that be the job of the other person? Well, guess what? Sometimes they're fucking idiots, and they go through their fucking MP so goddamn quickly. They're basically, like, some of the people are kind of like the Donald Ducks of this game. Like, they blast through their MP. Instead of realizing that they have more than one attack, they just, you know, fucking waste it. And it's annoying, but whatever. I think that's enough grinding for now, anyway. Okay, I'm gonna go to the town, because I don't want to have an entire video of me just in this one area grinding, especially because I'm not getting a lot of EXP out of these fights anyway. But, word of advice, if you're trying to get money from collecting the idols, once you have people like Cliff and shit like that, if you're trying to get those guys to do the whole spare me thing, you're gonna have to, try to get them to focus and take out the other enemies and put them on do nothing, obviously, or else they're gonna keep attacking them and fuck the whole thing up for you.
Made it. Finally. That was farther than I thought. It looked so close. On the scanner.
Girl with bobbed head.
What's wrong, mister? You got a bellyache?
Fucked up dreams. I don't often dream about my parents, but when I do, they are executed in front of me. Stay bloodthirsty, my friends. If you scream in your dreams, you scream in real life. Told you.
It was just a dream.
assisted.
I see. So you were the one who rescued me. Thank you, Mina. I guess I should introduce myself. My name's Fate. Fate Linebaugh.
I am Nicholas. Her name is Mina. Wait, you said Fate, right? Your clothes and your ears. Are you one of Norton's men?
Is that a person's name?
Yes.
I don't really understand the situation here.
You don't know Norton? If you do not know who he is, then please, never mind. I apologize for the odd question. You still need to recover your strength. Feel free to rest here a while. We cannot do much, but we do have food.
I'm fine. No, really.
You should stay in bed. Please, rest. Don't worry. It is our way to help each other in times of trouble.
Sorry.
It is no problem. Mina, let him get his rest.
He looks so young. He seems so mature for his age. Just like Sophia. It's already afternoon. Ouch. Let's see. Gotta figure out more about this place. Nicholas must have it. He must have made him nervous. Well, it's not like I need it right now anyway.
Basically, you need to explore the town a little bit, and you find out that they're quite races of, humans. Because Norton's not really a human, but he has similar characteristics to humans. And while he came here with a phaser gun, which is unknown to this area because they're kind of backwaters, like 16th century style, and he basically killed off a bunch of people, and they're like a farming community, basically, and they need their supplies to survive the harsh winters, and basically he started taking all the food for himself because he's a greedy fucking bastard. And he, here's a list of rules. He proclaims himself basically as a fucking god. Here's his commandments. Basically, he's a fucking psycho. He's from a planet where they're like joyriders and shit like that. They're psychos from where he's from. And he was on his way to be taken to prison or executed. I forget what the story with that was. He'll explain it later. But he was on his way to jail, I know that much. And he killed the fucking guards and he crashed here. Stole their phaser gun because they didn't survive the crash, and basically started rolling here of an iron deck. And since the people here are a peaceful race, they didn't fight back because it's not that they couldn't, it's that they wouldn't. See, these cop riders go for 200 apiece. I don't know why I said 100. Fresh sage, you don't really need it right now, because if you get KO'd, obviously it's fucking game over for you, pal. Clone generator, same thing. I never really used them. It's kind of like something you can equip. You know, ring mail, definitely gonna need one of these right now. Blackberry, take 2 of those. Take 4 blueberry. I'll take a few more. So you do find stuff out in the wild, but you will also need it. It's important to have it. You can equip the metal pipe if you want it right now, but you don't really need it because you'll get your sword back and it'll automatically be equipped. You don't go into battle without, you know, anything. And this will be one of the places that you do come back to later on in the game. You know, so if you, like I said, there's some areas where you can't fully complete, and one area that you can't fully complete will be the, will be Norton's territory. There's like ruins and stuff like that, and there's certain parts you can't get to because it's blocked off. There's certain chests you can't get to too because the areas are, you know, like decrepit and shit like that. Because later on in the game you'll get this ring, and the ring has the power to destroy debris and shit like that, and you'll have to basically backtrack later on in the game and use the ring to get to places to completely clear maps. And not just the maps, it's also, if you decide to choose with Roger, because if you do, there's a trophy you get from finding all the treasures. There's these little books, and you follow the riddles in the books, and if you go there, there's treasures in all the places. Which, in this game, I think I will be taking Roger because I do kind of want to get that trophy, but I'm going to have to figure out what exactly I have to do for the books. I mean, I got time. So I'll definitely read up on that today. And unlike some games where if you go to open a treasure chest and you have too much of an item, it disappears. And this one, it doesn't. If you have too much of an item, the chest just closes again and says, oh, I'd like to take it, but I have no room for it. So it'll just close the chest. So, you know, that way it doesn't get wasted. And if you remember where it was, you just go back and get it later.
Something like that for us?
You saved my life. It's the least I can do to repay you.
Still.
And I'm sure that Nina wants it fixed.
Thank you, good sir.
Thank you, good sir. Sounds like an Alfred Twist character.
You swear you are not with Norton and his gang?
That I'm not. What? You don't believe me?
No, I trust you.
Thanks.
But be wary. If you are not one of Norton's gang, you will be in even more danger outside of it.
if you notice, like, those guys that were standing up at the path that were blocking the area, they're part of Norton's crew. And the thing is, when they keep talking about Norton's men, they're talking about those people. They don't look like Norton, and they don't look like you know, obviously being humans. They're not humans. They're humanoids, like the people from the village. But the thing is, they sided with Norton. Many of them, you know, young kids and shit like that, basically, you know, like punks, thugs. And they sided with Norton because basically they were like, you know, fuck this, let's live the high life. You know, we could either be slaves or we could be by his side, so that's what they chose to do. And I mean, there is a little storyline if you know, you can eavesdrop on these people afterwards, like, you defeat him and everything. And, you'll see a little story where this woman is, like, yelling at a guy in, like, the, little graveyard area because he convinced her to join Norton, and she's like, what do I have to show for it? Nothing. You know, we left the village and we're basically traitors, you know, and they basically had nothing to show for it. I'm not too fond of you either, asswipe. I got 2 copper idols for that. Go bad, man. Triple EXP. Damn it. Oh, fuck. I was hoping you wouldn't fucking break it. Because you gotta be really careful the higher you go, because the more fucking fragile that the battle bonus bar is. And now that I'm getting more EXP, I'm basically where I want to be. You see, now I'm getting double full, I'm getting, you know, triple EXP, and I have a higher chance of them dropping items. Which is good, because then it means it's going to be short work of trying to level up. Which you really need to level up a lot in the beginning of the game. Like, I am not even fucking joking when I'm talking about the significance of grinding. Especially before you get to Araglyph, because when you're trying to leave the underground catacombs, don't run from all those fights, even if some of them are tough, because there is a boss underground, and if you are not leveled up enough, strong enough, you will get your fucking ass handed to him, and guess what, you'll be stuck there, unless you keep going back and grinding up.
There's no way the inhabitants of this planet know what this stuff is.
Same with the mines, when you go to the Araglyph mine to collect the copper later on. And when you fight Albal the Wicked, well, for me it was pretty easy because in my other file, like, I grind up significantly and I go there and I just kick the shit out of everybody. So I'm going to do a little bit of battling here. Just to kind of grind up a little bit. Because some of the enemies that you're going to go to after you go into Norton's territory are a little bit of a bitch. Especially the fucking mushroom people sitting around all day. Because I play Russian roulette every day on man sport with what I call life. Yeah, I'm gonna call it life. Like, girl, she just says something, I just fucking la la la. Fucking tongue-tied, I don't know. Like, girl, she doesn't realize that I just fucking kick her in the baby. She's on me. Can't fucking do it the way he does it. That fucking song's crazy. Talk about System of a Down if you don't know. I don't know, my mouth's just fucking dry as shit right now, I don't know. I think I'm getting sick. Yeah, they want your behind. It's attack from the behind because they want your behind. He's like, oh yeah, baby, make you all sticky inside. Ugh. I'm creaming just thinking about you, sticky icky. Sticky with the icky and the vicky and the licky. See, here's one of the support things I talk about. First aid, basically, you take damage, and, you know, you have a 20% chance of getting, you know, HP when you take damage. And as you can see, there's the level, you know, it's level 1. If you get use of that 39 times, it goes to level 2, and obviously, like, the usage of it, and, you know, overall what it does will be more significant. Like, obviously it'll get more health from it, so it'll do more. Same with, like, moves like this. Like, I used it 7 times so far. I need to use it again 92 more times in order to go to level 2, and you're thinking, holy fuck, that's a lot. But yeah, but the significance of it, it'll do more damage the higher it goes up. However, while it takes, like, I see it takes 20 HP every time I use it. At first, right now, because it's the beginning of the game, and, you know, I only have like 442 HP, so you're like, well, that'll go pretty damn fast, and for the most part, yeah, you're right, my health will go down pretty damn quickly. But here's the thing, when my health is 32,000, and, you know, 32, or 3,200, whatever, or 32,000, whatever, because you can go all the way up to level 100 in this fucking game. You get it that fucking high, and you're still only taking 20% out of your, yeah, I'm not 20%, what the fuck am I talking about? 20 HP, I'm sorry, tongue-tied there. If you take a 20 HP out every fucking time you use the move, it's not gonna fucking really affect your health too goddamn much when you're that fucking powerful. But while that'll stay the same, that amount of HP taken out, everything else goes up. You know, it's same with the MP. Moves will take out a certain percentage of MP, and it'll stay that way no matter how high the level gets. However, the amount of damage it does will increase. So it's level 1 right now, so it's not, obviously not that fucking powerful, but, you know, when it's like level fucking 10, holy shit, you'd be fucking everybody up. And there's all kinds of special attacks you can do, like Blade of Fury is a base attack. But there's elemental blade attacks that Fate has the ability to get. Like, he gets the fire blade, where basically he sets his fucking sword on fire, which that's pretty fucking dangerous on its own. And if you attack any enemies made from ice, you know, obviously that's a pretty damn significant fucking attack advantage on them. And he also has Blade of Ice, which his ice turns... an icicle type thing forms on his sword and makes it even longer, so it's got an extended reach, and it does a good amount of attack damage. However, you have to watch out because, like, I suggest using scan on some enemies, because if you don't know, because it's not quite obvious with some enemies, like this one, I have no idea what the fuck it is other than it's a fucking green blob, or green and white blob, whatever. But the thing is, it could be any elemental, because you don't fucking know. I mean, the only times you really know is if it's in a specific place, like under Aryglyph. Obviously, everything kind of has like an ice feel to it, because it's in like an icy cavern, obviously, duh. Not too fucking hard to understand that one. However, there's like, in areas like this where it's a big open field, there are enemies that have elemental attack bonuses, but it's not very obvious, because they're not like, you know, like some games you play them, you know they're an ice fucking, you know, elemental monster, because they'll be, you know, white, or they'll have like icicles on them, or they'll be red and they have fire on them. Well, that's not the case with some of the enemies in this game. They won't have any significant, you know, appearance that shows that they're any kind of element. For all you know, they could be a normal fucking element, but you go to attack them, and you attack them with like an ice blade, and your ice blade is giving them health, and you're like, wait, why the fuck is it not damaging them? Why am I healing them or hitting them with this, you know, attack? Well, that's the fucking case. It doesn't make any goddamn sense, but, you know, it's a little flaw in character creation, but then again, it does make the game a little more interesting, because it's not that easy to tell what kind of attack unless you get scan and you use scan, which I recommend using scan before you fucking use a fire blade or a fucking ice blade on something, and then realizing that you spent half the battle healing your enemy. Yeah, get down on your knees and suck that dick.
That was easy.
See, I got cooking ingredients, and that's one of the things I was talking about before. You'll get ingredients and stuff like smithing material and stuff like that, stuff for alchemy, stuff for compounding and shit like that. You can, while you don't get, you know, the points for making it when you file patents in the game when you're doing inventory. However, you can take items that already exist and improve them while you're doing the inventing. You know, that also extends to things you created while smithing and stuff like that. Like, you can increase, you know, swords, you know, gauntlets, daggers, fucking, it all depends. Like, not everything can be, like, not every weapon can be, not every piece of armor can, but a lot of it can, so there's a lot of possibilities that you can take an item that sucks and make it a little bit better. You can also do it with food as well. Like, you can take the buns or the apple pies and spend a little more gold to make the food, you know, give you more health afterwards, which is actually a pretty good thing, because there's, other than the blueberries and the magic berries and ripe berries, you can only get like a certain amount of those in the game, because they're like really valuable items that you cannot, you know, buy. They're items that you can only find in chests. You cannot buy them anywhere. So, items like that, you know, there's only so many, so basically you need to supply on everything else. And here's another thing that kind of sucks. Food you can't use in battle. You can only use, like, blueberries and stuff like that. And aqua berries and potions and whatever. You can't use food. You can use it outside of battle. So, I mean, it's good to have it, just for the simple fact that after you're done a fight, you know, you can still use it. But I don't know. I mean, this game's flawed, but I still enjoy it. But there's just a few things like that that kind of be a pain in the ass. Let's see. That's enough grinding in this area. And here in this area, like, it's not that hard to keep, like, the battle bonus bar up, like I said, but when I get to the second world, obviously, there's going to be stronger enemies and shit. There's going to be stronger enemies in this next area, too, like the mushroom people, because they consistently attack. And enemies that consistently attack, like, there's no block button in this game, okay? You can't guard, which is another fucking thing that's retarded. Don't ask me who the fuck did that, okay? Because it's a really stupid thing. But you can't guard. So, that automatically, like, if they're hitting you like a fucking 10-hit combo, there's a really good possibility, obviously, that they're gonna destroy the fucking battle bar, and you're gonna fucking have to build it up to the very beginning again. And some fights you go into, it automatically only gives you like 10%. So, like, it starts at 90% with some battles and slowly goes down to fucking 10, meaning you have the chance of getting more toward your attack bar bonus with every, you know, KO and hit and shit.
Hello there.
What a relief! You are well! Norton's gang was lurking around the forest in the direction you left him. We were worried.
Nicholas? Could you please tell me more about Norton and his gang?
I do not know everything myself. Norton appeared suddenly in our village about half a year past. He ordered the village to supply him with food. Of course, we refused at first. The village needs its supplies to survive the harsh winter. Norton was in fact ordering the village to die. But when people refused him, he called upon this mysterious light, and those it touched disappeared, one after the other. Carl, Siren, Kurt, all gone. We resisted until the very end. Of course, we told our lord, but he said the idea of people disappearing into thin air was nonsense and didn't want to hear about it. Now some of the villagers have even joined Norton's gang.
A mysterious light that makes people disappear. Nicholas, when you first met me, you asked me about my clothes and ears, right?
Ah, yes. Norton wore clothes made out of a strange material that was neither linen nor cotton, just like the clothes you wore. And his ears were shaped like yours. That is why I did not trust you at first. I apologize.
Don't worry about it. I would explain it as someone would steal hot parts that the woman's planet should have evidence.
Is something...
It's nothing. Thinking isn't going to help. It might be dangerous. But I better go meet this little guy. I might even find my way off this planet. I'm really sorry, but it's going... Can you wait just a little longer?
That thing Norton's gang carried out, did it belong to you?
No. I thought it might be, but it wasn't. Don't worry. I'll fix your music box.
Ah, yes. Very well. Let us eat.
Okay, now we will be going after Norton and his gang because that is where Nicholas is gone. And the way there is up here. The area that was once blocked. Oh, shit. Well, let me see if I can get the rest of this bunny map real quick. Fuck. It's a little hard to get it toward the edges of certain places. You see what I meant about needing to go around like certain areas on the map? I guess I must have missed some somewhere. Almost. You don't need it to be like 100%. I think you just need it like 99 or close to it at least. A little fucking annoying sometimes though. So there we go, we got our first one. Congratulations, your map exploration has reached 100%, which it really didn't. You have earned a fabulous reward. 1 out of 144 scale bunny obtained. Basically, it's a little fucking trophy thing. Okay, there it is. It's 5% movement rate, whole party. I thought it was higher than that. Well, you'll get a lot of them, and a lot of them you don't need to wait to get. So I suggest just getting them as much as possible because, you know, you'll need them. They make you move a little faster. And it's not just you, it's all your characters will move 5% faster. And you fucking need to stop with that. Alright, you're starting to piss me off, dude. I'll deport your ass. The fucking Pain Town, nigga. I'm a James, bitch. Knocked your ass in the last week. This place is a fucking maze, by the way. Nah, I'm just joking. This actually isn't one of the bad areas. You will find out which places is a fucking maze later. It's the fucking, like, Kurosawa fucking training facility. That place, holy fuck, it takes me so fucking long to get through there because there's, like, so many doors, and then I forget behind which door the staircase is. And then on top of that, like, I'm trying to get all the items in there, and it's just fucking annoying. There's numbers on the wall. You're gonna need them for the secret passcode. Which, if I remember correctly, is like 256 or 265, something like that. Oh, goblin looking dude. He looks like a bandit, but he's supposed to be like based off the death caps. That's why he wears like that weird fucking hat thing. See, like, some of these fights are pretty easy for the most part. The only really annoying fight in this area, like I said, is the fucking mushroom people. And that's because they do, like, this attack that's consistent and it slowly drains away your fucking MP. And not only that, but, you know, it's just a consistent attack, like I said. Consistent attacks you can't fucking block. It'll more than likely break your fucking battle bonus, which is really gonna annoy me because, you know, I got it on basically everything. Like, I'm collecting all the fucking bonuses right now because my battle bonus is so fucking high. But I know I'm gonna get in a one fight with them and it's gonna like be broken in that fight, and I'm gonna be like, fuck. Fetty! God damn it. Yeah, some attacks you gotta watch, you gotta do heavy attacks, because people like that, they have fucking guard boosters on, and they'll just get in your way. Stop running, fatty. Your fat ass can't hide behind anything anyway. You know this song, Run Fat Boy Run? Well, I feel like that should be playing every time you get in a fight with one of those guys, because all they do for the most part is run from you. I've never gotten attacked by any of them except for, I think the red coat ones have like a fucking gun they shoot at you, which the gun is weird looking because it kind of looks like a fucking hairdryer. So when I first saw it, and I saw him come after me with it, I started cracking up because I was like, what the fuck are you gonna do, blow me? And then he fucking shot me in the face, and I was like, what the fuck was that? Okay, prison rules though. They're already bent over. Ready to get fucked? Here we go.
Blade of Fury. That was fun.
Ah, I got two of them.
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
See, the scan enemy, like I said, you're definitely going to need that for some enemies. Because if you don't know exactly, like, what they are, with your CP, the higher your level is, the more things you can equip at once. Right now I can only equip one thing at a time, which is annoying. But, you know, that goes up too, along with leveling up. I think this sucks is, like, you get, like, few points to give yourself, like, an extra thing to boost up. So, of course, first thing you want to boost up is your attack, which, like, you'll do that later, but, like, right now you want your health up, which I put my health up, so when you get to Eriglyph, you're gonna want your fucking attack up, because everybody there is like on fucking steroids in the beginning of the game. Like, especially the soldiers right near Eriglyph once you leave the city. If you're trying to complete the map, I suggest running around them and doing it, because if you get in a fight with them, they'll fucking kick the shit out of you. Like, no joke. I don't know why they would put enemies there that you cannot even remotely have a fucking chance of winning against that early in the game. Somewhere where they know that you're going to try to get the Bunny Scout trophy, but they do anyway, because they're just dicks. That's like in Final Fantasy 15, like in the one video I showed you, there's like that giant fucking monster thing that looked like it was on crack, just like right in the beginning area of where you start off, you know, at the Hammerhead Station, and you're just like, there's no chance in hell of beating that fucking monster, so it's like, why is he here? Why is he somewhere where you know I'm going to try to gather ingredients and shit? Why are you, like, making life so hard by doing something like that? Like, yes, that's what I talked about. Like, you'll be in the middle of an attack or something, and it'll just come up and take advantage of that, and you can't do anything about it. It's retarded. Like, once you start an attack, the only way to stop the attack is if somebody hits you and stops the attack. But for some people that will complain about that, you gotta realize this is a PlayStation 2 game, okay, guys? Because my one friend, like, he likes the whole idea of this game, but he cannot stand the fucking battles. He just, he is so annoyed by it. Like, we had a whole conversation and all he did was rant about it. He's like, oh, it's so fucking annoying. He's like, why can't you guard? Why do they create games where you can't guard? Why can they fucking attack break you? Why can you not stop your attack midway? Because what if you decide you wanted to do another attack? And I'm like, well, you can't. You gotta wait for them to attack you. And he's like, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm in the middle of a fucking fight. I don't want to hit him with a left, I want to hit him with a right. So I'm gonna let him fucking hit me with his right so I get hit him with a left. He's like, why does that fucking work? And I'm like, I don't know. You know, but it's just how they did some of these games back then. And I know it doesn't make much sense, but I mean, this whole series in general pretty much kind of stayed the same for the most part. Like, I do have one of the other sister games from the series for PlayStation 3, and for the most part things didn't really change much. I mean, I kind of, when the first time I played this, I was like, maybe they'll learn and they'll realize that some of the shit they did was just fucking retarded, and they'll go, hey, let's not do that in the next game. No, they kind of were like, no, we're gonna do that in the next game. And that's the attack I'm talking about. They fucking do that. They shoot these fucking orb things at you like they're trying to fucking hallucinate you. Jewel of Alertness. I never really used like some of like the jewels and shit like that. Like, there's jewels that give you mini maps where the enemies and shit like that are, or help you escape faster. I don't use any of that because I don't care. I'm going to search the entire area anyway, so why the fuck would I waste it when I could just go and sell it? Because they sell for a decent amount of full. And like I said, I like to do the inventions in this game. So when you start doing the inventions, you realize that, like, go through the list. There's some that are like ridiculously overpriced, where you'll be spending like 40 fucking thousand full just to create one fucking item that'll sell for around half that price. But just to have it on your creations list, you're gonna need to do it. And a lot of those items that you can only get them by inventing. Like, I shit you not, you will not be able to buy some of the really powerful weapons in this game. You have to fucking create them. And I know that's really annoying, and that's another thing that I was just like, wow, that's so fucking annoying, because at the time when you were a kid, if you didn't have the strategy book, you basically had no fucking idea how to get that item. Because it's not clear. Like, all it says is, you know, you'll like, oh, well, when I get to there, I'll show you, but certain places you also have to expand the facilities. You have to add more than one line, so you can create more than one thing at a time, you know, by doing stuff differently. Like, obviously you're gonna have people doing the same, you know, type of invention field at the same time. Like, you'd have up to like 3 or 4 people, I think, like, inventing one thing. I mean, they're not all working on the same product, but they're all working in the same field is what I mean. Like, you'll have like 3 people working on smithing, you're gonna have people working on cooking and engineering all at the same time, and they could all fail at the same time, or they could all create different things at the same time, which I've had that happen. I had Nell and this one guy, I forget what his invention name is, he's a fucking alcoholic, dude, though. He'll only be happy if you put him in a town, you know, obviously where he can create where there's a bar. And that's another thing. Some creators are not going to have success rates creating in places they're not happy being in. If you put some people in Ariglyph, they're not going to want to be in Ariglyph, so they'll complain that they're in Ariglyph, and they're not going to create as much. They're going to be shitty creators. If you put the guy who wants, you know, to be in a place of a tavern, in like Aquarius, where there is no fucking bars apparently, because the people in Aquarius don't like to drink apparently, even though you're living in a civilization torn by war, you would think you'd want a fucking tavern in every goddamn city, because people are gonna want to fucking drink at times of hardship. But that's a place where nobody was drinking, and he bitches, and I tried to use him to cook, and guess what? I tried 5 or 6 times to use him to create, and he didn't create a goddamn thing. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put him in the fucking, the creator's town, where there's like fucking 2 bars or something. And, well, I had higher success rates with him. His cooking skills, oh my god, it just fucking broke it. See, that's what I was talking about. It'll eventually get broken. It's fucking annoying, but it gets broken. His, like, cooking skill is only 10. There are, you know, people that have higher skills, but the more that they're able to invent, they'll slowly get better skilled. But here's the thing, even if their skill levels are shitty for crafting or cooking or whatever the fuck you're using them for, because it's whatever their skill is, they have exclusive items that only they can craft and create. And like I said, it's a real pain in the ass to try to figure out exactly how much fucking money you have to spend for specific items, because I wish they would just fucking be like, okay, to create an item in this field, you need so-and-so. It's like, no. They'll just randomize how much full you can use too. Like, you don't get to pick. You just have to keep, like, hitting the thing to change how much you want to spend, but it'll be randomized. Like, you can't input a specific number, which is also fucking annoying, and it's usually odd numbers and shit, like 571 exactly. Okay, why not 580? No, 571 exactly. I don't know, it's retarded. But, as I said, a lot of the shit you do end up creating is actually pretty useful. You know, you can craft bombs, you know, which you can't buy bombs for the most part anywhere in the beginning of the fucking game at all. So if you can craft some fucking bombs and you're gonna use them for like boss fights or something that's like really difficult to fucking, you know, defeat, by all means do it, because it's a good idea. There's certain, you know, weapons and shit, like I said too, same thing. The only way to get them is if you're gonna fucking craft them. And it's a little annoying, but you're gonna need it. Ugh, fucking acid reflex. Okay. But anyway, character design for this game is actually pretty good. I mean, look at this game. Look at this detail. PlayStation 2 games, for the most part, some of the like designs and shit were kind of like, you know, childish and shit like that. So it was kind of refreshing to see a game like this at the time when I was a kid, because you're like, you know, the graphics are actually not bad, especially the fact that you realize that this was a PlayStation 2 game. You're like, well, you know, that wasn't that bad, you know. But whatever. I mean, I remember playing some PlayStation 2 games and feel like they were still on fucking PlayStation 1. I'm not one of those people that completely care everything about graphics, because it's not all about graphics, but I like did not play a game that looks like shit though, because my eyes are bad enough, and I feel like when I'm staring at like a bunch of pixels that are supposed to be a shape, I'm just like, what is this crap that I'm looking at? Is this supposed to be a person? Why does he look like he has fucking 3 faces? Run, fat boy, run, run, fat boy, run. Run, fat boy, run, fat boy, run. Told you to run. Me, miny, mo, miny, me. Oh yes, run, fatty. Work them hips, run, fat boy. You gonna beg for it, huh?
Oh, please! If you'll
Only spare my knife! Fuck your life, give me your wife.
Blade of Fury! That was fun.
So here's another thing, you know, sometimes I talk about the news and shit like that, like, if you've heard other videos. What the fuck was it with the fucking ICP going to fucking Washington and acting like they actually know anything that's going on other than they're out of weed or they're out of crack? Like, I love when people like that are so fucking retarded actually believe themselves that they know what's going on in the world. Like, what the fuck was that all about? I feel like you're wasting your fucking time. Like, oh my god, fucking juggalos. So fucking sad and pathetic.
That was easy.
Like, there's so many dating stories I've read and listened to creepypastas and shit like that. Like, Let's Not Meets and shit like that that involve women going on dates with fucking juggalos and them turning out to be like stalkers and fucking crackheads and meth heads and alcoholics, and they're basically like the white trash trailer fucking mascots. And it's funny because even on the news, like the ones that they were talking to, like they all sounded like fucked up and retarded and shit. It's just like, okay, well, you're not proving my, you know, you're proving my point. You're fucking showing me that you're a bunch of crackheads and shit because you sound like you're, people took me in and kept me from going to fucking jail, going to fucking prison. And like, I think it's funny that they're like trying hardcore to not be labeled by the FBI as a fucking gang, despite the fact that they act like a gang and have such a gang-like mentality, and the fact that they go to venues and completely fucking trash the venues and shit like that. It's like, you know, you do shit like that and then you wonder why people are calling you a gang. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah, he came around here blabbering about getting something back and wanting to see Lord Norton.
Then what did he do?
Being the kind-hearted fellas we are, we gave the stupid kid what he wanted. I bet Lord Norton's re-educating the undisciplined little brat right now.
What?
It's the kid's own fault. Nothing good can come from messing with Lord Norton. Don't worry, he'll learn it's better to join us than fight us. It's a shame. The apple don't fall far from the tree. Idiocy must run in the family.
Rotten little...
Whoa there! Didn't I just say you can't pass through here? Wanna see that brat? You gotta beat us first.
Obviously you're not badass because he's banished you to guard duty, so I don't think you're that tough.
Looks like we got another village idiot in need of some education.
Real fire! Too slow!
Yeah, you gotta watch because some enemies in this game try to run from battles.
Blade of Fury!
That was fun.
He probably should have ran. Like how they're all piled on top of each other.
So Nicholas is locked up some.
Yeah, I guess not. Since, like I said, you're fucking on guard duty. So you'll find items like this, and it's better not to sell them because they'll teach you shit. Like this basically gives you the attack, counter-attack auras, which are basically how to guard. It's not really guarding, but whatever. Blanco, blanco, blanco. Areas where you don't see a percentage going up, you don't get anything for completing the map there if you don't have to worry about it.
That was fun.
We got another battle trophy. Get where we go to see the battle trophies. I don't know if you can here. I think you have to like do it at like before you start the game. There's an option. Obviously when I end this video, I'll start it off in the beginning, like the opening menu and shit like that, so I can show you where it is. Another thing is definitely the whole reason I'm telling you you need to grind is because you can take out bosses a hell of a lot faster if you are higher powered enough, and you really want to do that because if you take them out in a certain amount of time, you get battle trophies for beating bosses for a time limit. So just like you get them from fights, you know, regular fights, you get them for that as well.
Please, if you'll only spare my life.
I will be doing another video of this again later on the day, but my next video might actually be another PlayStation 2 Classics. Since I'm done with Bully, I think I should do some more PlayStation 2 Classics. I am going to do Rogue Galaxy. Star Ocean Till the End of Time, I've actually never beaten as a kid, but I've came close to it. I got stuck. This was years ago, and my game disc got brokenly. I recently bought this on the PlayStation 2 market for like 15 bucks or so. So I was like, fuck it. You know, I had a lot of good memories with this game. This game was really fucking fun, so you gotta put a fucking passcode in somewhere. Oh, here it is. It's like 5-6 or 6-5. Yeah, there it is, 256. The passcode again to get into Norton's hideout. Well, not hideout, but getting into the door over there is 256. You need to use that computer. You can't get in any other way. Come on, assholes.
Blade of Fury! Blade of Fury!
Yeah, broke through your guard. a little bit. How come I fucking went on them dead on and it still says attack from behind? Sometimes it does that. I don't know why. Don't ask me, please, because it doesn't make any fucking sense. I attacked them dead on, but it said attack from behind. Come on, fucking bomb crusty fucking douches. So I'm gonna have to fight these guys a little bit, and then I'm gonna fight Norton. And then that'll be the end of the video for now. Double KO. Adrian! You did it, Rocky! Of course it's something stupid like increased recovery rate of item bullshit. I was hoping it would be double KO EXP. Defeat with exact damage. Meaning if you can do an attack that'll KO them with the exact amount of health they had left. That's basically what that meant. I'm sure some people complain, they'll be like, oh, you're grinding a lot in your videos and it's kind of boring to watch. Well, there's some people who like to watch it, and besides, I'm being completely fucking honest here, I don't cut my videos. Like, I don't edit them, and I don't, you know, take out shit where I fuck up and when I fail, because I don't do that. I mean, even if I did at a channel where every time I logged in I had like 300 and something people fucking watching me, I wouldn't do that. Because I personally think that's kind of stupid to have, like, you know, you try to edit your videos and shit and then act like you're this hardcore gamer who gets everything right the first time, when 90% of you out there do not get everything right the first time. And as for grinding, I mean, if you're gonna watch someone play a video game, why not watch the real thing? This is one of those games. Like, a lot of the games I'm gonna play are games where you gotta grind. Hell, even in games like Dying Light, you have to fucking grind. Dying Light's like open world exploration game, but you still have to fucking grind your levels. Especially if you want, like, the fucking, you know, the grappling hook. Your money! I want your money! Whoa!
What? An attack from behind? Blade of Fury!
There we go, I learned Blazing Sword. And that'll be a very helpful technique when I get to Aryglyph, because like I said, the Sewers of Aryglyph, there's going to be a lot of fucking ice monster type things, and the boss is, you know, ice element, so it's good to level up enough that you have that before you even go after that boss in Aryglyph. And like I said, this is a game where you don't want to run from a lot of fights, because if you run from a lot of fights, you're not going to level up. But if you don't level up, guess what? You're going to fucking die a lot. Like, I got lost in the one area when I was doing the Curlsaw training facility. It was me and Cliff, because you get separated from Nell, because Nell goes after her friends, basically by herself, and I got lost in there. Like, completely lost. Like, I spent, I want to say, at least 20 minutes running around the entire fucking place trying to find the way to get upstairs to get the key. And I couldn't find out how to get the fuck downstairs to get to where the fucking key's supposed to go, where you meet up with Nell. So I was like level 13 or 14 when I was there. And by the time I finally met up with Nell, I was like level fucking 20, and she was like still level like 12. This show was fucking funny. I was like, holy shit. She's like, oh, I was like, this whole time I was looking for her, and she still, like, went after the boss because I didn't feel like grinding with her, so she was getting her ass kicked by, like, the boss and shit, because me and Cliff are fucking level, like, 22 by that time, and she's, like, level fucking 12, 13. And I was just like, holy shit.
Hang in there, Nicholas.
She's supposed to be our bodyguard, like, she's supposed to be, like, protecting us to get us to Aquarius, and we're, like, fucking knocking the shit out of everybody, and she's, like, trying to fucking keep up. It's kind of like when a short guy, you know, tries to fucking, you know, join a marathon and everybody's keeping up and he's just like all the way in the back. That's kind of how she was. And anyway, here comes the fight with fucking Norton. The fucking Nort bag.
I might be stuck here if I use my communicator. What am I thinking? There's no time. Hold on, Nicholas. I'll get you out.
So instead of looking for a key, hey, guess what? I'm going to blow up my communicator, so no one will find my distress signal. I'll be trapped on this planet, and now I can't understand what you're saying. That's a really good idea, you fucking jackass. Trapped on a planet, now you can't speak the language, so you have no idea what anybody says. Thank God Cliff was already on his way, or else this kid would have been fucked. That was such a stupid move.
He doesn't seem too badly hurt. That's a relief.
See, now I can understand him.
Now, we better get out of here. Let's go. Freeze!
Damn it, my fucking microphone got unplugged. Hate when that happens. Need like a wireless one.
And I'll let you live a little longer. He's gone, so you must be Norton. Yeah, that's me. I am Norton the Great. It's so nice to hear genuine turn being spoken, huh? Seems like ages. Why are you here? You're not from this planet, are you? I'm from Razor, boy. We're not part of the Federation. Razor? I've heard of that. Right. That planet filled with joy seekers that keeps rejecting Federation membership. So what are you doing here? This is an underdeveloped planet, you know. Not much to tell. I was involved in this unfortunate accident. Guess it was a bit much even for Razor. So I was sentenced to spend the rest of my days in exile on a deserted planet. But the escort ship they were transporting me on had engine trouble and ended up crash landing here. Can you believe it? All I had to do was mess with their engine codes. Those stupid pilots ended up frying their engines. Oh, man! All I was trying to do was create a distraction so I could make my escape. But we ended up crashing, and this planet's become my prison. And the others, Norton? That's Lord Norton to you. There must have been others. What happened to the other people on the escort ship? Oh, those guys, they're dead. They were trying to send out a distress signal when a bolt of lightning smote them where they stood. Bam! That crash part was unfortunate. But no use crying over spilt milk. I've been devoting myself to making this planet my kingdom. You get my drift? So that's why you've been raiding Whipple? Yeah, something like that. You're a smart kid. That's why I was raiding the village, and that's why you gotta die. So, you'll be happy to know I'm gonna make the most of those parts I stripped from your escape pod. It's guys like you. Huh?
Ah, there you are. I thought I lost you when your distress signal went out. I'd never have found you if it weren't for those explosions.
What do you want? You're not one of them Federation guys, are you? Who?
Me? A Federation soldier? Yeah, that's a good one.
Well then, who are you?
Cliff Bitter, a Clausian and member of Quark.
Clausian?
Sorry, no time to explain. I'm kinda in a hurry. Just let me have faith, that Earthling boy over there, and I'll be on my way. I don't plan on butting into whatever you got going on over here.
How do you know my name?
Let's not sweat the details. Suffice it to say, you're my man.
Hold it right there, or I'll blast you!
Huh? You talking to me?
You think you could fool me? There's no way a Clausian would come here. You're probably some sort of spy. It's so obvious.
Look, since I'm such a nice guy, I'm gonna fill you in on a little secret. That gun you have there has no effect on us Clausians. You didn't know that?
Shut your pie hole!
All right, I'm done lecturing. Time to teach you a lesson. Here I go!
It looks like an even match! Too slow!
So you use this to use scan, and your aura is already turned on, so you turn it on or you turn it off. That means, you know, when they attack you and you get the guard boost, basically, if they attack you mid-attack and shit like that, like you'll see like this weird yellow light come off you and it'll hit them and they'll get stunned. Basically, they can do the same thing to you. See? Doesn't tell me. It says it's resistant to fire.
Take that!
Which I didn't know that.
Want some?
That'll get you broken, you fucking cocksucker.
Want some? This is mine! My kingdom!
I'd have preferred a more worthy opponent.
And of course I didn't beat him under a minute. God damn it.
Well, so much for that guy.
Unless it wasn't in this one, I don't know, because not every trophy's always in there.
The physical abilities of Clausians
And it
far
says that.
outstrip those of Earthlings. But man, and he said Quark. Wasn't that an anti-Federation group?
Looks like I overdid it. Should have held back a little bit. Well, this is about the only thing that still works. The rest is ruined.
Is this a communicator?
Can't live without one. I can't figure out why you wouldn't have one with you. Whoa there. Don't go thanking me yet. You see, I've come to abduct you.
What?
Now, don't get all worked up. I'm not gonna hurt anybody. It's just, my boss wants to meet you. That's why I came all the way out here to find you.
Boss? You mean Quark's boss?
That's right. Our leader wants to see you. But you've sure made it a tough job. First, I went to Haida and ran into that mess thanks to you. Then, I get here and find you poking your nose into matters better left alone.
You make it sound like it was my fault Haida got attacked. Gee.
It was. You'll find out later though why.
Just kidding, don't sweat it. At any rate, I got you now, and I did rescue you, so no complaining. And besides, you want to see your old man, don't you? He's been captured by the Vendini.
Dad? But why?
Hey, don't ask me. All I know is your old man was abducted from the evacuation facility on Haida.
What about my mother? And Sophia?
Well, we know your mom's safe. She should have already arrived at remote station number 6. I don't know about the girl. I've had my hands full just trying to track down your escape pod.
How do you know all this? What else do you know?
Not much else. Sorry. Oh yeah, I do know what your old man Dr. Lineguard was researching.
You mean symbological genetics? My dad's an authority in that field, so it's no surprise you've heard of him.
Right, symbological genetics. 19 years ago. Never mind, that doesn't matter right now. Come on, you don't have any other way off this planet, do you? Look, I'm sure things will clear up if you just come with me. Besides, you'll be able to see your old man.
But according to you, my father's been captured by Vendini. So how could I possibly see him?
Simple. Quark will go rescue your old man, too.
Why would an anti-Federation group want to help my father?
Well, tell you what, it's kind of complicated. Let's not get into that right now. So, are you coming or not?
It's not like you have a choice.
Okay, I'll go with you. But could we stop by Ripple first? I want to make sure the boy gets back there safely.
Sure, whatever. But I still think you shouldn't have gotten involved. Too late for regrets.
Basically, I give him the attack shit because he's better at it. I don't always use it a lot.
Promise. I won't let your efforts go to waste.
I don't like to use it unless I exactly know what element the monster I'm fighting is. But okay, this is where I'm going to end the video, guys. We'll be picking this up again sometime later on the day. The next video and the next... might be in a few minutes. I have to see if I need to go grocery shopping or not. Or it might be in the next hour or so. Next video will be Rogue Galaxy. Another one of the part of the PlayStation 2 Classics. And after I beat Rogue Galaxy, I'm going to balance, because this game's going to take a good long while to beat. This is going to be a lot. I'm going to go between, you know, Dark Cloud 2 and this, and then eventually I'll go to Dark Cloud 1, and then I'll also pick up the Warriors. I'm going to stay mostly on the PlayStation 2 Classics, because I kind of enjoy doing these videos more than the other ones, because I feel like everybody's doing the other videos right now. You know, even games like Dying Light and Arkham Knight and shit is still so popular with people doing everything, and I don't like to do everything that everybody else is doing. I kind of like doing games that like a lot of people aren't really doing right now. Games like this, there's not a lot of people playing them. Alright, there's not. Especially this one in general. Like, I tried to look at walkthroughs and stuff, there's not a lot of people who actually did this game. So it's because a lot of people like these days, they're not like in the retro games like this. Like, when I consider this part of retro gaming, because this for me is a little old, but hardcore retro is like fucking Atari and Nintendo, but this is part of retro gaming because this is not normal gaming anymore, and kids don't really play these types of games anymore. So I will be doing more of this, and I will be doing more PlayStation 2 Classics, and when I get more money, I will be buying more PlayStation 2 games, and I will be doing more and more and more PlayStation 2 Classic throwbacks. So be sure to subscribe, give a like. You suggest some games that you would like me to see, because I have a list of games I have right now in my data bank. I have this. As I said, I have Rogue Galaxy, which is coming out. I have Dark Cloud 1. I have Dark Cloud 2. I have The Warriors. And I have Ukage. And this is Star Ocean Till the End of Time. Those are the PlayStation Game 2, tongue-tied again, PlayStation 2 games I have right now. If you would like to see something specific, recommend. But I don't really do sports games, is the only thing. I don't really like sports, okay? I do shoot 'em up, I do action, I do RPG, you know, I do that shit. But that is what I'm doing, and that is what you have to look forward to in the future. So be sure to subscribe and check back, because there will be more content. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video.